What's up, City Drake? And we are going into our relationship aspect of the show, and we are talking to our polyamorous couple, Shona and Valentine. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Hey.
Thank you.
No,
I've been here.
You gonna put Valentine on last? Huh?
Hey, well, thank you for having me again.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you can make it, man.
Yes,
glad
what's
you
up?
can make it. So, let's dive right into this, man. We're being introduced as a group to Polyamorous, and what that's about. And as my understanding, it's an open relationship between two people or four people, or like, as a matter of fact,
He can explain it.
It's having the ability and the art of loving more than one person.
okay.
That's
So-
the simplest explanation I could give you for that. That's why I wanted into too much detail, but it's basically just sharing your love with multiple people.
Okay, so you guys are in a relationship together,
Right.
Okay, and both of you have relationship outside of your original relationship.
I'm in one other relationship, yes.
Okay, so you're in one other relationship, so you have two booze, and it's not considered a side nigga thing. It's like
No.
two. Do you keep them? Are they on the same level? Like,
I don't really look at it as levels. Both relationships are very different.
well, you have to when you say a side. You don't have a side nigga because side nigga is a level.
No, one gets the amount of attention that he gets and the other gets the amount of attention. I mean, he lives in the house, so, he sees me a little bit more than the other one.
Okay. Okay, so the other guy obviously don't live with you.
No.
Okay, so now in your case, is there a
He's stumped.
side woman? Is there
Well, I mean, I'm not in an actual committed relationship, because I haven't felt that level with anyone. I got friends that I kind of hang out with for certain purposes, certain interests. Some are mentally stimulating, some I just have fun with, just party or whatnot. Others are for other reasons.
so
But
are you loving more than one person?
I'm not necessarily in love. I'm liking
You're
more
liking
than one
more than
person.
one person.
Right, I'm in like with more than one person.
Okay, and are you in love with more than one person?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, two, not more than two.
But okay, there's more than one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
Now, are you looking for love in someone else, or is it?
Well, at this point in my life, I'm not necessarily looking, because when you look, you kind of find what you thought you were looking for or not. So I'm just experiencing life. I'm just allowing interactions to happen. I'm opening myself to opportunity.
What do you enjoy most about this type of relationship?
Guess it over the time that we've been in this relationship for about 6 years or more, I think I've come to find out what I like in a person. Certain things I do like, certain things I don't like. It's gave me an opportunity to survey, my interests a little more than I would in a traditional monogamous relationship where you're stuck with just that one person. Any interests or fun outside of that relationship would be considered cheating.
Now, what do you dislike about this type of relationship, Shona?
Well, I think for me, there's still a lot of dishonesty on his part. When you're given the form to be so open, he still has struggles being so open. I don't know if that's a block from past relationships where, he'll tell you he cheated. And I don't know that. I'm always honest. I'm extremely blunt. My friends think I'm too blunt. So that's what I don't like. It's like here you have someone you can confide in everything to, and you kind of don't. You still kind of hold back.
So he can tell you anything.
Yeah.
Like, he can be like, yo, I just,
Yeah.
anything.
I ask him questions and he'll tense up or shy up and won't.
And you're going to be okay with it. So
I've been on details of certain things and he won't tell me.
So it could be a threesome yesterday, and he's like, hey, this is what happened yesterday, and you go like, you're cool with that. You're like, oh, ain't no big thing. Like,
I'm the
what
one who
happened?
introduced this life to him. So this is my truth. I'm living in my truth. So I've always known that I I realized it a few years ago, but I've always had friends on the side, and whoever I was with, I was always honest with them too. Like, these are my friends. I'm not having sex with them, but maybe I dated them in the past, but we're just friends. And I got to a point to where I just needed to live in my truth. And I introduced it to him, and he thought about it, and now we're here.
So obviously you brought it to the table.
Yeah.
And when she brought it to the table, what was your first thought?
Well, the way it was brought to the table was, as far as me having the open forum to, have an extracurricular friend or whatnot. Me coming from the background I come from, where it would be considered cheating, I felt like, okay, cool, but I never took up the opportunity until maybe some time later on, and then I slowly, but still just apprehensive of it. Just didn't feel right at first,
Very Larry. He thought it was a setup.
Yeah, it just didn't feel right. I'm like, wait a minute.
I can understand that being. Like, I can do what?
Right. Most guys would just run out there like, yo, what? But nah,
but
it was
on the
kind
flip
of.
side to that, it's like you. But she's doing everything that she said that you can go do.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. Because just me being mature at that point to say, yeah, it's fine to go with your friends. You can hang out with your friends, no problem. Go ahead. He picks them up from the house. She got picked up several times from friends and went out. I introduced myself and talked with them. We might have, medicated together or whatnot.
But at that time, did you know that?
Yeah, that you dated in the past and they had relationships, all that. Yeah. I mean, I'm secure with myself first. I'm okay. I know what I bring to the table. So once you know that, it's like,
Okay. All right. What was the look off right there? That was.
I'm looking at the people who are watching.
All right. Let's take it to the floor one time. Elena, you got something?
I guess I want to know: is there any jealousy? Like, is there ever a time where you feel a little jealous?
That's like one of the number one questions we get. For me, no. I'm jealous of that motorcycle. Because that seems to be a higher priority than things. But women know. The unknown will piss me off. That's what makes me upset, but not being jealous. You can't be the initiator and then be jealous of things down the line. So when you open this door to this type of relationship, you're opening to all the possibilities of happening. One question he asked is, before he even started seeing other people, was, what if I fall in love with someone else? And I said, well, that's the path that you were led down, and that's what's supposed to happen. And as your friend first, I will support you in that relationship. So, yeah.
Now, did you guys introduce this to does your family know that?
Yeah.
You got, okay. So, introducing this to your mother or your parents or, aunts and uncles, explain this to me.
A lot of people found out through radio.
So it wasn't no conversation.
Not by my choice, though. Well, with my dad, he's just, my mom is deceased, but my dad is just like whatever's going to make his kids happy. So he's very supportive of anything that's positive and calm. So he's, I don't really know how Robert's mom feels because she's a very spiritual woman.
Yeah, she comes from a very biblical background. So my mom, she's really not for it, but she's like, you're my son, I love you, and I want to see you happy. Whatever makes you happy and keeps you motivated in life, then I'm for it. That's why she's for it, because I seem like I'm happy, or that, it's pretty much I am. So if I had some gripes about it, she would probably be like, I told you.
And okay, so what about introducing your kids to it? Because you have 4 kids, you have 3 kids,
right?
As
far as the introduction, it wasn't like, hey, this is what we're doing. It pretty much happened through them hearing the radio thing and them just being the kids of nowadays, just being smart and picking up mom's gone and then you're here and then she comes back, and so they pretty much know what's going on. They, I think, are really concerned about the house just being at peace, just seeing us both happy.
I set my kids down.
You set your kids down?
I set them all down.
And
I explained to them being blessed to be loved by more than one person. It's a choice. You can be with one person for the rest of your life, or you can choose to have multiple loves. So they get it, I think, for the little ones.
How old is the youngest?
The youngest is 5.
And the oldest?
Well, now he's 6. He just turned 6.
So when
the oldest is 24.
Okay, so the conversation obviously would be
It's different with all of them, yes.
Okay, so, but 5 years old was the age that you introduced it to your youngest.
He's just, they're the little ones are like, yeah, okay. Because they don't see us with the other people.
So they don't see the side or the other boo. What do we call him? Like,
he's
their name.
Yeah, his name is Eric.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the kids never met Eric.
Yes, they have. We've been in settings where they don't really know that, oh, that's mom's other boyfriend. So they know, like, these are my friends from high school. We're at a barbecue, but it hasn't been like at home chilling, watching Spy Kids.
So like a family barbecue or whatever. Like, you know, does both boyfriends come?
No, they choose
to keep our lives safe.
Yeah. Okay. They've been in the room once for my birthday, but that's it.
Like, how's that? Like, who's
I wish I could see his face.
Like, who's ass grabbing? Like how does that work?
That's where the respect comes in.
Yeah.
Is it respect? Because you're my woman. I should be able to ass grab you wherever I want.
But if you come to another man's home, you don't want to be doing that around. If I went
to
his house,
at home
I wouldn't be grabbing anyone. You know, like
you can't grab her ass in front of her boyfriend.
I mean, it probably would never happen. But if I went to his home and I came with her, I wouldn't be grabbing her.
Like right now, if he was to come in, like, you know.
No, they're very
respectful.
They're
to that extent.
Even for my 40th birthday, they were. My family was more weirded out than they were. You know, they took turns dancing with both of them. They had a drink together, and they were just like, we don't know who to talk to first. We didn't know who to hug first. They were just like, it was weird for them on the outside. But now they're like, okay, well, we see that they're cool, then.
So you might not rank them like, you know, siding him.
No, I don't.
But your family.
There's not a thing 1 or thing 2. There's nothing like that.
But does your family, like, it's like, you know,
no.
They don't know who to talk to first. So it's like, who do we respect more?
Well, that was the first time they've all been in that setting with both of them there. So it was, you know, and I didn't make an announcement. They were just kind of like, oh, Rob, Eric's here too. So, you know, 2 hours in, everybody was drunk. Everybody was having a good time. So it didn't really matter after that.
Well, I did have one question in my head. Since it was introduced to you and your initial response was, okay, is this a setup? And then your second response, was it like, hey, yeah, I'm down?
No, my second response was still just being apprehensive and leery because I, you know, valued this situation so much. I'm like, well, if I do this, is this going to like sabotage something? Am I going to set myself up for failure? That was my mindset. Like, wait a minute, it's not, you know, it's not normal, but this is my reality. You know, am I going to live in my reality or am I going to choose a different reality? You know, so I chose to live in my reality and explore and find out. And I'm glad I did, you know, because I dug deeper into myself than I probably would have ever dug if I went another direction.
So, like your guy friends, how do they respond to this?
My who?
Your guy friends, like your
the homies.
Yeah.
My homies
how do they?
Pretty amazed on you know, how mature I am about it and carefree about the situation. You know, it's just normality to me now, but in their mind it's like, man, you know, I don't think I could do that. You know, just a situation I tell my man or what I'm up against. Mm-hmm. A lot of them they can't see themselves in my shoes, but it takes a lot.
No, I mean,
it takes a lot of maturing and jealousy was there in the beginning, but you learn to self-soothe and
self-soothe.
Yeah,
Now,
you got to emotionally self-soothe yourself. When she's not around, I know she's with Eric, you know, and I want to be with her. I have to self-soothe myself.
So does that mean
emotionally, you know, I have to be my
time.
best friend and, you know, have that talk with yourself, you know, to alleviate that jealousy or occupy myself with activity that keeps my mind motivated and on a positive, you know, note. So I don't sit at home just It's not me anyway.
I could honestly
No,
say
he
from a
doesn't
man's
sit at home at
standpoint,
all.
From my standpoint, I was like, man, that's one of the hardest things to accept. Like, I mean, you can accepting the fact that I, as a man, can walk around and do whatever I want to do and come back and tell my wife, that's great. That sounds all fun and dandy. But on the flip side, it's like you got to deal with her doing the same thing. And like most men, like, I'm not ashamed to say, I'll be like, yo, I don't know if I can handle that. Like, I might not be man.
Yeah, a lot of people
or
can't though.
strong enough to handle that.
Yeah.
I think I'm really deep inside. I'm secure with who I am. I don't feel like I'm competing with anything. I'm just living my life in me and doing what I do. And we relate the way we relate, and I know they relate the way they relate. So in my mind, the competition phase has been over long ago.
Thank God.
Long ago.
Yeah, because that was going to be my next, just real quick. I'm sorry, but I just feel like, was the competition that's kind of that kind of naturally is in men, did that increase once you were presented with this situation?
Well, I can only speak for me.
Did you feel like you need to step it up a bit?
I can only speak for me, because I'm competitive by nature. I don't like to be the underdog. So in my mind, where I was going with it is, what I'm doing now, I'm going to make sure I'm doing it 100%. I'm into fitness, so I was in my fitness 100%. So when I'm walking around and she sees me, she's like, bam, but that was my mindset in the beginning. I got to be on top of everything, my dressing, everything, but now it's like I just do what I do. Naturally, I'm going for 100%. That's just what I am. So it's not really.
So now, do you feel like it kept you on your toes now?
I'm always on my toes.
No. But did this put you even more?
This put me on my tippy toes.
Okay. That's what I was trying to get to. Go ahead, Trees. Floor is yours.
Wow. Were there any stipulations when you presented this situation to him? I mean, did you say you can only have, 2 extra or 3 extras, and don't come to me with, oops, she got pregnant? I mean, what would you do in those situations? I mean, were there stipulations is my first question. And then, because you have one person
Right.
In the relationship.
Right.
And listening to your partner, it sounds like he has multiple.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, is that fair? I mean, do you?
I mean, some think it's a little greedy.
Okay.
It's like you, again, like I said, when you open this option of living this way,
Mm-hmm.
He has the choice to live it the way he wants to. I do know a lot of other polyamorous couples who do have a lot of rules. But I just don't believe in it. I just think that there should be a level of respect. And again, the lines of communication should be just open. I don't like to be blindsided by shit.
Right.
So, and I've been blindsided a few times.
Right. So I can see that you would have that trust and expect that respect from him.
Mm-hmm.
But you have no idea who these other people are and what they're bringing to the table.
Exactly.
I mean, at that point,
That has been that. Wait, say that one more time.
I said, in that case, I mean, if some situations were brought to me at that point, I would want to cut a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
For me, I think I don't know if they know the whole scope of what's going on.
Okay.
And if they don't, then it's unfair to them.
Okay.
But at the same time, from what I see, if we weren't in this type of relationship where we know and our families know that this is what it is, some of his friends, I think, are comfortable with being the side chick. By me, I've approached some of them to speak to, not in person, but through Facebook, and they've completely ignored me. So I found that to be a form of disrespect, because he knows Eric. They've smoked blunts together, so not that this is something like they're buddies, but it just shows me the mentality of the women that he's choosing in my eyes. So,
For me, I would think it's worse that you have one person versus him having several people, because for a man, like, you actually love someone else. He might not love anyone else. He just might be having fun. As opposed to you like, You're in
But
love here, and then you go and be in love there.
Well, he can have fun. He just needs to be honest about his fun.
Yeah, but fun is not as major as love.
It isn't. But this is, again, me living in my truth. He's living the way he wants to. He can choose to get to know one of his friends on a more intimate level. He chooses not to.
I look for certain qualities, and if someone doesn't have all those qualities, it doesn't lead me to love. It leads me into liking those things that I like about you. So the other friend, I like those things about her. So I experience a completeness in my life because all of those avenues that I'm needing to wanting to be touched are being touched, but by different people.
How long do you guys do this? Like, is this a forever thing? Like, or is it like, oh, okay, guys, yeah, I'm 60 years old. Y'all both can't be getting this. Nah. Like, what do you like? Where does it stop at? Or does it? Because I'm just, you might.
That's a good question. We get asked that a lot too. Like all things, they fizzle out, but you never know what may happen. So, I know. From Eric's end, he's in it for the long haul. He respects the dynamic of the household and however long that may last.
Wait, what do you mean by however long that may last?
I mean, like all things fizzle out. You never know what can happen. Like, again, he can fall in love with somebody and say, I want to be with her and just her. And I'm going to say, okay. So we just take it day by day. We don't look at it like, oh, we're going to do this till we're 45 and it's over. I could not like neither one of them next week. That's just me, though.
How long have you guys been?
We've been together 6 years. I've been with Eric a year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I've known him since the 5th grade, and I've known Eric since the 9th grade.
Okay, I have one more question. I'm going to pass the mic. At some point before you got into these extra relationships, did you feel that
I've always been like this?
I mean, me too. I've always had a team, but did you feel like? But I've always had a team because I wasn't fulfilled 100%. So did you feel like you were not fulfilled with your partner, and you needed to have that extra?
No.
Okay, you just wanted the extra.
I just feel like I have a lot of love to give, and it's not that I get bored because we have a fun life. We are compatible on the levels where we both like to dance and party and be sociable with our friends. We have a lot in common there. I'm in entertainment. He does music on the side. So we have a lot of things in common. But sometimes I just like something else.
I've heard her mention once before back in the earlier stages that she just enjoys the company of just multiple men, not the same guy. You don't want to be in his company. You want the presence of this guy because he gives this feeling,
Yeah.
So it's not a sexual thing at all. Most people think it's sex.
That's
not,
It definitely isn't.
So what are you guys telling me? You guys don't have sex with other people?
I mean, I do.
I do.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For Valentine, why do you feel the need to I wouldn't say lie, because I don't know if you guys do that, but do you feel the need to conceal certain things from her that maybe she feels she wants to know? Do you think it may hurt her, or is it just that you're not comfortable telling her those things?
I just feel that I'm not comfortable because of me just being more familiar with her reaction to things when she doesn't like them. And certain things if I don't deliver it in the right way or explain it in the right way or get to fully explain it, it may go a different level, and I try to avoid conflict at all costs at this point in my life right now. I'm just really trying to be under the radar.
Understood.
Go for it.
Can we get an example? Because it's hard for me to imagine what it would be since you all are so open with each other in other ways.
I'm so open.
I mean,
so what's an example where she's actually had a negative response that made you feel like you wanted to shut down?
God, can't really think of one, but
I can. So today, actually, someone posted that he is his man crush Monday.
And they had like 4 pictures of me posted. One of my friends.
You didn't know. You didn't know a second ago. So my thing is, our life is open, but I keep it off of social media. We do have a polyamorous IG page, but our family, our friends, our kids, my cousins can't see that. So his mom, my dad, follows him on social media. So I just think that certain things need to be kept off, because it's not like we're ashamed of what we're doing, but out of the respect for our parents and our family and people who may not really get what we're doing, that's in our family. His reaction can go left, meaning they need to stay off my page. No, you need to tell your friends to be more respectful of the situation. So that goes back to me saying that they may not really know the full scope of what this is. So things like that piss me off.
Okay, so I have a quick question. So, when you're meeting these people, do you think it would be advantageous that you bring them together and you guys kind of agree or disagree that this would be an appropriate person for you?
My thing with that is, if I get to the point where I have enough interest in you, where I feel that I want to introduce you to my primary, then I will. But if I'm not really interested in you to that point where you're going to be permanent, I'm not even going to burden her with introducing you and take her time.
But I've asked to meet them.
Okay.
So as the primary, if I do ask, that should be priority.
Okay.
So,
but it still they have to be comfortable with the meeting too. You know, most
but
of the
they
times, a
also
lot of them,
need to be comfortable
'cause they're
with what
still-
situation that they're in.
Right. It's true. That's true.
So that goes back to me saying, if they are not, they are okay with being the side chick, and that's not what polyamory is. So,
All right. Well, look, we're gonna take a break really quick. When we come back, we're gonna get more into this. We'll be right back. Radio.